Right now, people are paying hundreds of dollars for AI courses that are honestly worse than the ones Anthropic is giving away for free. Let me show you what I mean. On Anthropic's own website, there is a single course that is 84 lessons and more than 8 hours of video. A full developer bootcamp. It costs $0. And here is the part that gets me. That is just one course out of 18. 18 free courses, over 300 lessons, almost all of them with a certificate at the end, sitting in one place that barely anyone is actually using. So I went through every single one, start to finish. Now, full disclosure, I actually reviewed a few of these a little over a month ago, but Anthropic has nearly tripled the catalog since then and added the courses that matter most. So consider this the latest, fully updated course by course review. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which three to start with this weekend, which ones to skip, and the order that actually makes sense. Before we dive in, here is the one skill that makes this whole catalog easy to navigate. Every course page tells you four things upfront: the number of lessons, the total hours of video, whether there is a quiz, and whether you get a certificate. One course might show 12 lessons and an hour and a half of video. That is a focused afternoon. Another shows over 80 lessons and more than 8 hours. That is a serious commitment. Same platform, very different scope. So as we go, just watch that little stats bar. It tells you exactly what you are signing up for before you spend a minute on it. And remember, every one of them is free. So the only thing you are ever spending is time. Track 1. Start here. These are the courses for getting comfortable, whether or not you write code. We begin with Claude 101. This is the front door. It teaches you to use Claude for everyday work, and it is genuinely broad. You will meet projects, artifacts, and skills. You will learn to connect your own tools, use enterprise search, and run research mode for deep dives. Then it shows you Claude in action, with real use cases sorted by your role. There is no stats bar on this one, but it is around 17 lessons, and it ends with a certificate. Prerequisites? None at all. This is the true starting line. No technical background required. Here is what you can actually do by the end. You will be running projects to keep your work organized, creating artifacts like documents and small apps right inside Claude, and using research mode to get genuinely deep answers. The one section I would not skip is connecting your tools, because that is where Claude stops being generic and starts working with your actual world. Who is it for? Anyone who has been typing into Claude like it is a search box and quietly missing 90% of what it can do. If that is you, this is the highest leverage hour you will spend. Verdict: the perfect starting point for almost everyone. Next in the foundations track, AI Fluency, Framework, and Foundations. This one is less about buttons and more about how to think. It is built around a model called the 4D framework, created by two professors, Feller and Dakan. Delegation, description, discernment, and diligence. 14 lessons, about an hour of video, a quiz, and a certificate. The whole point is to make you effective, efficient, ethical, and safe with any AI, not just Claude. There is no prerequisite here. You can honestly take it first. And by the end, you will have a simple 4-part checklist that you run on every single AI task. When to delegate, how to describe what you want, how to judge the result, and how to stay responsible for it. That last D, diligence, is the one most people quietly skip, and it is exactly why their results are so inconsistent. Who is it for? Anyone who wants a repeatable system instead of just winging every prompt. Teams especially love this one because it gives everyone a shared language. Verdict: take it right after Claude 101, and the two together will change how you work. And if you are starting from absolute zero, there is a tiny course called AI, Capabilities and Limitations. 13 short lessons, about 15 minutes total. It just explains, in plain English, how these models actually work and what they can and cannot do. Think of it as the orientation video before the real courses. Quick, painless, and it quietly fixes a lot of bad assumptions. Track 2. This is where it gets powerful. Claude Code and agents. If you write any code at all, this is the track that pays the rent. Start with Claude Code 101. 12 lessons, an hour and a half, one quiz, certificate. It takes you from installing the tool to actually shipping with it. You will learn the rhythm professionals use, explore, plan, code, then commit. You will learn the commands that keep long sessions fast, and you will put Claude to work reviewing code, your own and your teammates, before it ever lands. For prerequisites, you just need to be comfortable in a terminal. You do not need to be an expert. And by the end, you will have Claude reading your code base, running your commands, and editing files right alongside you. The part that genuinely changes everything is the customizing section, where you write a claude.md file so the agent remembers your project's conventions every single time instead of you re explaining them. Who is it for? Any developer who has heard the hype and wants real value instead of typing a request and hoping. Verdict: non negotiable. If you ship code, this is the single best 90 minutes in the entire catalog. Once you have the basics, there is a follow up called Claude Code in Action. 15 lessons, about an hour, with a certificate. Where 101 teaches you the tool, in action shows you how to fold it into a real development workflow, end to end. Think of 101 as the driving lessons, and in action as the road test. The one prerequisite is simple: finish 101 first. And by the end, you will have a repeatable loop for shipping actual features with Claude, instead of one off experiments that you cannot reproduce tomorrow. This is the difference between a fun demo and a tool you trust on a Monday morning. Who is it for? Developers who finished 101 and want to see it on real projects, not toy examples. Verdict: the natural next step, the moment Claude Code clicks for you. Now, the two courses that quietly separate beginners from power users. First, Introduction to Agent Skills. 6 focused lessons. A skill is a reusable instruction file that Claude automatically pulls in at the right moment for the right task. This course takes you from creating your very first skill to configuring multi-file skills to sharing them across a whole team and troubleshooting when they misfire. You will want to have used Claude Code at least a little before this one. And by the end, you will have built your own skill, a small folder of instructions that Claude loads automatically, and you will know how to share it. So your whole team works the exact same way. Who is it for? Anyone who finds themselves typing the same instructions over and over. Verdict: short, specific, and the moment it clicks, you stop repeating yourself forever. Its sibling is Introduction to Subagents. 4 tight lessons. A subagent is a helper that runs a task in its own separate context, so your main conversation stays clean and focused. You will learn what they are, how to create one, how to design an effective one, and how to actually use them to delegate the messy work. This is the trick power users rely on to keep long, complicated sessions from falling apart. Same prerequisite as skills: do a little Claude Code first. And by the end, you will be spinning up subagents to handle research or testing or code review, each in its own clean context, while your main session stays sharp and on track. If you have ever watched a long agent session slowly lose the plot, this is the fix. Who is it for? Anyone already using Claude Code who keeps running out of context or losing the plot on big tasks. Verdict: tiny course, outsized payoff. Take it right after skills. Track 3 is a single course, but it earns its own spotlight because it is the newest big idea. Introduction to Claude Cowork. 14 lessons, about 30 minutes, a quiz, and a certificate. Cowork is Claude working alongside you on your actual files and projects, not just chatting in a window. This course teaches the Cowork task loop, how plugins and skills fit in, how to run file and research workflows, and most importantly, how to steer multi step work responsibly so the agent does not run off and do the wrong thing. There is no coding required at all. And by the end, you will know how to point Claude at a folder of your real files and have it actually do the work while you stay in the driver's seat, approving each step instead of just handing over the keys. For a half-hour course, the payoff is huge. Who is it for? Honestly, everyone, technical or not, because this is where Claude stops being a chatbot and starts being a coworker. Verdict: only half an hour, and it is the clearest look at where all of this is heading. Okay, quick pause. We are about halfway, and we are about to get into the serious builder courses. If you are finding this useful, do me one favor, hit subscribe. I go through this stuff every single day, so you do not have to wade through it yourself. And if you want even more, I post breakdowns on Instagram and Facebook too, both under Hyperautomation Labs. Subscribe here, follow there, and let us get into the heavy hitters. Track 4: Build on the platform. This is for people who want to build their own software on top of Claude. Start with Claude Platform 101, around 18 lessons, with a quiz. This is the bridge from using Claude to building with it. You will make your first API call, learn how to choose the right model, and really understand the agent loop, tool use, and thinking. It covers built in tools, skills, MCP, context management, and even managed agents. For prerequisites, a little coding experience helps, but it genuinely starts from your first API call. And by the end, you will have wired up tool use, managed a context window on purpose, and even built your very first managed agent, which is the foundation of any real product you put on top of Claude. Who is it for? Developers who have only ever used Claude through a chat window and are ready to build something real. Verdict: the perfect on ramp before you touch the deep end. And here is the deep end: building with the Claude API. This is the giant of the entire catalog. 84 lessons, over 8 hours of video, 10 separate quizzes across 7 full modules. This is not an afternoon. This is a genuine bootcamp, and it is completely free. It covers the full spectrum of working with Claude through the API, from your very first call all the way to production grade applications. Here is my honest take on prerequisites. This is the one course where I would really say, do Platform 101 first, or you will feel lost in the deep water. But if you put in the 8 hours, you come out able to build real applications on Claude with streaming responses, tool use, and proper evaluation, so you actually know if your app is any good. Across those 7 modules, it is the closest thing in this entire catalog to a paid bootcamp, except it costs nothing. Who is it for? Developers and engineers who are serious about building real products on Claude. Be honest with yourself about the time. 8 hours is a real investment. But if you finish it, you will know the API better than most people who charge for that knowledge. Verdict: the most valuable course here, if and only if building is actually your goal. If you want Claude to connect to the outside world, you want the MCP track. Start with Introduction to Model Context Protocol. 16 lessons, about an hour, a quiz, and a certificate. MCP is the standard that lets Claude plug into your tools, your data, and external services. This course explains what it is and walks you through building your own MCP server so Claude can actually reach those systems. A little coding experience helps here, but the course really does start from the basics. And by the end, you will have a working MCP server of your own. The bridge that lets Claude read your files, call your APIs, and touch your databases safely and on your terms. Who is it for? Developers who want Claude to do more than talk, to actually touch their files, their APIs, and their databases. Verdict: this is fast becoming a must have skill, and 1 hour gets you in the door. And when you have outgrown the basics, there is Model Context Protocol, Advanced Topics, 15 lessons, 2 quizzes, a certificate. This is the production grade follow up covering sampling, notifications, file system access, and the transport mechanisms you need for real MCP servers. Who is it for? People actually shipping MCP servers, not just experimenting. Verdict: skip it until you have built something with the intro course, then come straight here. There is also one course built for a very specific crowd, Claude with Amazon Bedrock. And it is huge, 85 lessons, around 8 hours. It was built from an actual AWS accreditation program. And it teaches the full Claude experience running on Bedrock. Who is it for? Engineers whose company already lives on Amazon Web Services. If that is you, this is gold. If it is not, you can comfortably skip it. Verdict: niche, but world class for the people who need it. Track 5 is the clever one. Anthropic took that AI fluency framework and made a version tuned to who you actually are. So quick, which one are you? Are you a teacher? There is AI fluency for educators, 4 lessons, built for faculty and instructional designers. A student? AI fluency for students, 5 lessons focused on learning and career planning. Run a non-profit? There is one for you, 9 lessons on growing impact while staying true to your mission. Own a small business? Same deal, AI fluency for small businesses, 9 lessons on impact and efficiency. And if you build things for a living, AI fluency for builders applies that 4D framework directly to shipping code and products. Here is the honest tip: pick the one that matches you and skip the rest, because the core ideas overlap heavily. One of these plus the original foundations course, and you are set. So, 18 courses. Let me make this simple with 3 parts. If you are a total beginner, do this: Claude 101, then AI Fluency Foundations, then the Cowork course. 3 courses, about 3 hours, and you will be more capable with Claude than almost everyone around you. If you are a developer, go Claude Code 101, then Claude Code in Action, then Skills and Subagents, and finish with Platform 101. That is the path from writing code to directing agents that write it for you. And if you are aiming to build products or chase the Claude certification, your spine is Platform 101, then building with the Claude API, then both MCP courses. Pick your path, start the first one tonight, and let momentum carry you. Here is the bottom line. Anthropic gave away a structured, certificate-backed AI education. Completely free, and almost nobody is taking full advantage of it. Now you have the whole map. If you want that map as a one-page cheat sheet, every course, the stats, and these exact learning paths, I made a free PDF for it. Just comment the word degree and I will send it straight to you if you want to go even deeper. I also have paid guides linked below, including a complete Claude Code guide for beginners and a prep kit for the Claude certification. And if this saved you time, do the 3 things. Subscribe here on YouTube and follow Hyperautomation Labs on Instagram and Facebook, where I break this stuff down every single day. I did the digging, so you do not have to. I will see you in the next one.